Yeah, so like Chainlink, we were transitioning to Chainlink, like their stinking 0.1 version. Like they had 22 million, 2.5 million, allocated in their pool. It got filled up within, 24 hours. But they were having some issues with the early access, like with especially with their their partners.
Well,
I'd say.
and I would say what Gabe has brought up is he doesn't get it, and then it totally makes sense because the allocation and the amount of it's kind of like dollars, and this is what people don't realize where the supply of certain tokens or coins or dollars are controlled by other people and the supply and demand. Everyone assumes that this is responsibly done, but what happens is that the Chainlink Association has like goo gobs of fucking Chainlink tokens that they
Other
sell
people's tokens. Other people's
constantly. They're
tokens.
constantly selling these tokens.
They have a bunch of other companies within their program, their build program, that they allocate in different tokens. And so LDL, their pool, and they I guess they force people to transfer into like a different kind of token. And if they ask you to transfer a different type
I
of
think
token,
I think we're too in the weeds though.
yeah.
So
Like,
I have a very simple question.
Yeah.
We know Chainlink's integral to like the crypto infrastructure.
Yeah.
But like why would you as retail hold Chainlink?
So what they're saying is that Chainlink is going to pay the people that are doing the oracles and the nodes that are
providing truth.
And how much link do you need to hold to run a node?
a lot.
It's
and then it's also
30,000.
It's like, but it's like beyond
10,000 link or $10,000.
10,000 link.
Beyond that, it's computing power. And then the thing is, it's a weird economics thing where
it's an incentive based thing too, because
you need to be able to
stay.
So these companies are providing a ton of computing power where they earn link because they're holding the network up.
And they're providing like they're keeping the network.
You keep saying provide truth though, but I think we need to go simpler for Gabe and
the retail crowd.
Exactly.
Yeah. Why would you hold link?
Just so
like very simple.
All these different computers are providing basic information and
price feeds.
Yes.
Rain data.
No, we did this. We did this. We need to go back to, and we just need to repeat ourselves because he's saying it, and was the spiel for way back, and also for Mark Cuban. The idea is though that there's going to be a network of computers that will provide information where all of these computers are going to give data points where you'll be so sure you don't trust the one service. And so instead of trusting the weather service, if it's going to rain, there's going to be literally infinite amount of computers, 1 million computers with the sensors and IoT giving you all the information in the world. And Chainlink is when they do the price feeds. If you bet that Bitcoin isn't going to cross 20,000, who do you trust? Do you go to the Bitcoin company to tell you the price of Bitcoin? And this is how the Mt. Gox stuff happens, or also the different companies where if you're on an exchange and then they don't have the liquidity and you're like, well, they can't sell me any more Bitcoin, so then the price just shot up or shot down. This is a purely technological trust factor in Chainlink. But you have to pay them in Chainlink, which is worth money. And then they have to pay them bit by bit. And then they have so much Chainlink that they could totally sell all their Chainlink and then the price would go to zero. So whoever the holders of Chainlink are, the Chainlink Foundation could sell all their Chainlink and then take all your money basically at any moment.
Right. And I think no one would disagree that, the utility of the token for what it does within crypto is pretty much second to none. But what I'm a little more interested in is I don't know how much you guys would even know about
The
this. with
supply
nothing in
is
front of you.
manipulated by Sergey Nazarov
Right,
and by
and
the
that's kind of
Chainlink
what I wanted to
Foundation.
get into a little bit. Do you guys know anything about like the unlocks and how the coin will be
So-
released? in
So
the future?
apparently only of the floating so I believe like about 40% of
But
the
that's why the proof of stake mechanism, though, they burn. It involves burning too.
yeah.
Going
That's-
proof
yeah.
of stake.
But
would
right
have
now,
to,
right
yeah.
now, I think that it's like 40% of the tokens coins have been issued.
Do you know what percentage Sergey holds of the issued?
It's like
It's actually not
25
that
or
much.
30%.
Of the issued, 25 or 30%.
Well, the whole Chainlink
I think it's like
organization.
less. I mean,
No, they have-
Chainlink organization is like 25%.
Yeah, like so they can keep selling
But
to
like
be able to fund
Sergey
themselves.
Yeah.
himself, I don't think is that.
But
And
the
the
weird,
unlocked, I'd imagine, is even higher.
well, and the weird thing is they have to pay their
Or the
own.
locked,
They have to
sorry.
pay the nodes to be able to keep the network
Of
going.
course, yeah, and that's like very common practice for how anything like that would
Yeah.
work.
It's the same with Bitcoin, where if you keep the network going, then you get paid. It's like mining tokens almost.
Yeah.
But instead of mining, it's a node.
All right, well, yeah, 25% sounds pretty reasonable.
No, but that's only of the distributed tokens.
Right,
But
only
there's
the
still like
distributed.
60% of the tokens that haven't been
and
distributed.
of course they control even more of that.
So
I would imagine.
there's a constant sell pressure. Apparently every week there's like, to keep the Chainlink organization going, it's like
yeah, they dump every Friday. It's
every
like a
Friday.
meme. Yeah, they just dump on you.
yeah.
That's just always been my kind of, I guess, hesitation to really hold it. You know, I mean, like I think it's a great project. It's a great coin. I just don't know if the upwards volatility price action is
So the
really.
big question is,
I mean, maybe long term.
so the big question
but-
is who's holding it and who's manipulating the price? Because the thing is, we all think that we're smart going up or down, but actually you're just at the whims of the big holders.
Of course.
And so who's holding and what are they doing? Is it the Chainlink organization or is it the institutions?
Early access guys.
But if you're just like a link marine,
Yeah.
you're like totally at the whims. And I always like to do the metaphor of you're a tiny boat on big waves.
That's why, like, maybe you're kind of skeptical of doing linking or staking, because you know
Could be
the
stolen.
pool,
Doesn't
the
matter.
pool is totally full of whales or.
So the scariest thing to me though is that 60% is unlocked or is locked. Like that's just kind of.
Well,
The
one
thing
of
is
the
that
one of
they
the
have
scary
so
things.
many people using it that will be need
It's just a
Chainlink
lot
for
of
accurate
tokens to
data.
add to that ecosystem.
But
This thing is
then
truth.
the thing is, there's all these levers where Brian is about the same idea that I am, where as Chainlink improves in technology, it will become more and more useful, and then it'll be needed more and more, and then you'll have to pay in Chainlink.
Yeah.
So eventually, you'll have to spend all the Chainlink to give to
That's
the
why,
nodes, and the value will
yeah,
increase.
value will increase.
We're probably talking 5 years here.
Oh yeah. It's a
Well,
long
and then the thing is, there's multiple levers. So, is it going to be that you're going to have to spend so much Chainlink to be able to run the nodes that it's going to increase in value? Or is there so much supply that Sergey can keep dumping for 10 years? These questions are two questions, but then you add other questions. Who is going to have the open interest on shorting Chainlink? Who has the supply? Who is actually investing in it? How much have they levered up? And so then we're just tiny boats. So all these questions, when you start adding them up, we have no answers.
I think what's going to be crucial, this is probably what's going to make or break it for them, is just kind of going to be out of their control, whereas it's just kind of crypto adoption as a whole. It sounds like it's going to be very hard for them to succeed.
And then the big thing was
crypto
that
adoption
Chainlink
really
is going to work.
accelerates.
Chainlink is going to work with Swift. Chainlink is going to work with Visa.
Company adoption.
Right,
It's
that's
just
what I mean.
normally
Companies will need to adopt.
So the big thing is,
will
yes,
adopt.
it's
So
actually
like Swift.
it's
Swift
actually a
is
technology.
huge.
It's actually a technology that
It's
is
just-
so powerful.
I know it's Swift.
They
I
got
know,
they got
but-
AP, they got AP Press, AP Association with all the election data.
Yeah, this is gonna need to continue exponentially, I think.
But yeah, it's crazy.
And if that happens, I think, at best that
You're
within 5
betting
years, probably longer.
you're
though.
betting on worldwide use, basically.
Right. You are
Corporations,
That's exactly
big
what you're
corporate,
doing.
not
But-
normies.
the idea of
Here's what it
oracles
means.
is
No, I
such a the ideas of a decentralized technology that's going to, at the moment there are only centralized companies that you trust for data and price feeds,
Yeah,
and so if you made it decentralized,
that
not
could be
only,
huge. Yeah,
and the
really
thing is
could.
the amount of the, so if you compare them to their competition, a centralized price feed like for a stock exchange, how much money do they take in fees to provide those prices and
You
to
think they're
facilitate
gonna?
the trades?
You think they might be involved in building stock exchanges?
Well, yeah,
That'd be
because
really cool.
you would use Chainlink instead of a stock exchange.
Will it be a stock exchange like built with Chainlink integrated into it?
Exactly. And then instead of giving the money to the stock exchange to facilitate the trades at the prices, you give it to Chainlink.
Yeah.
Chainlink's going to accrue a ton of value. Every time you need to get information, you're going to have to pay the nodes.
Yeah,
And so
I mean,
then if you
yeah.
pay the nodes for everything, and once you start integrating the technology into like IoT, where okay, we want temperatures everywhere, we want speeds, we want cameras, everything is chain linked.
Yeah.
That's where you get super gigabrain, where you're like, Chainlink is gonna track everything, and everything is gonna need to pay Chainlink nodes in Chainlink. So every Chainlink is gonna be worth so much because you're paying for verifiable data from a trustless network.
I guess to try and sum it up, though, basically, it's a relatively high conviction play within crypto. If you have
Oh
a
yeah,
longer
for
time
sure.
horizon.
Psychos.
If you have a longer time
People are
horizon.
just
5 years, 5 years.
5 years minimum.
No, people are just like really insane about it. And then
Yeah.
it's also frogs. Like everybody does the memes and they're doing Chainlink. Because during the bear market of from like I think 2016 on, Chainlink went from like a fraction of a penny to like dollars.
To $3.
So a lot of people like got rich.
What's
Because
Link out right now? 7?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's at 7,
okay.
650.
it got up to 50.
Yeah. All right. It's like, yeah. I mean, it's like I could see myself,
I've been buying under 6. I've been
diversifying for the
Under-
long term.
yeah.
But
Under
Well,
6, I've
so-
been buying.
So this is what I wanted to get back to when I mentioned where I was like, so who is holding Link? Who has positions up or down? It's institutions, it's large crypto companies. There's a lot of Link being dumped by the Link organization.
well,
And so-
miners too. To make
Yeah,
a
and
living.
so it's kind of you're late to the party, and there's a lot of people dancing.
It's not, we're
seven's
too
pretty.
early.
7's pretty cheap to be
Yeah.
late to the party.
No, we're too early. Under 10 is pretty good.
It was $20 this time
Well,
2 years ago.
The thing is, people group crypto
mean,
all as a one
yeah.
thing, and
It was
it
triple
really does
what it
follow
is now.
whatever Bitcoin does. People follow, but Chainlink should be grouped as almost a separate technology.
I'm just saying it's hard to say you're early when 2 years ago it was 3 times higher.
I
It
think
is
it's
now.
early now because crypto's so down right now.
Yeah, that's why I wouldn't say.
Well, and then the Chainlink organization,
This-
Yeah.
there's a
You're not
reason.
late.
If Sergey is dumping to be able to pay for engineers, they're building. That's the
They got
reason.
the CEO. They got Eric Schmidt. Like Eric Schmidt doesn't attach his name to scrubs. Like he knows viable technology when he sees it.
So if crypto succeeds, Chainlink succeeds. That's kind of what it comes
Yeah.
down to.
If Chainlink succeeds,
Crypto succeeds.
no, it's Chainlink's its own thing, and that's the whole thing that I was trying to tell people when you're investing.
Do you
in
think
crypto,
you think it could succeed even if Bitcoin just
Totally.
died?
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally, it's like its own thing.
It's processing large amounts of data. It's basically biocomputing. I mean,
It's a decentralized truth mechanism for
Yeah.
blockchain, and it can be utilized in many industries. Forget
Think
about
about
Bitcoin.
Think
Bitcoin and
about it.
Chainlink can separate completely.
What about Ethereum and Chainlink?
it would solve every debate. There's a right answer. There's a one true right answer.
Because Ethereum and Chainlink are pretty highly correlated and
Well,
integrated.
I was
aren't
seeing
they?
recently some stuff about like ICP was actually giving smart contracts to Bitcoin on top of Bitcoin.
ICP
Wow.
seems doomed.
I've heard otherwise, where it actually is like The whole
I
token.
feel like they've been all talk and no performance
Yeah,
though their entire
exactly.
existence.
And then now in the bear market,
Polkadot has earned
Polkadot's the same thing.
$860,
Yeah,
$862 in fees.
it's a lot of talk.
dude, I heard Cardano also might be turning a corner.
I think Cardano's a lot more hope than those two.
Hey, should we